All right.
Coach, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, phenomenal Tuesday. Thought our kids had great juice today. Great competition Tuesday. Saw a lot of young guys that continue to improve. Matt Riles is coming on, man. Really competing on the O-line. Gabe Cavazos, Kobe Cage that continues coming on right there. I thought we got some good special teams work. We played a tremendous opponent this week. I know y'all are going to ask me about them. I mean, they're probably the best team I've ever coached against. I played Bama in 21, we did, and they played for the national title. And I think this team's a little better than them, because Bama was starting a true freshman quarterback at the time. He was really good, first-time draft pick. But this guy's special, and their skill guys are, and it's going to be a great challenge for us. It's a tremendous opportunity to go over there and represent our program the right way, and in an elite opponent, in an elite venue, and to see how much we've grown since the last time we went over and played Bama in a situation like this. I think our guys are excited about it. With that, I'll open it up.
Well, you kind of mentioned it. They got a lot of experience. What was just kind of your takeaway from that LSU game of watching them?
Yeah, just no weaknesses. They're old, they're good, they're experienced. They've got a returning quarterback. I think they got 17 starters back. They led the ACC in offense and defense last year. And they got 17 starters back, quarterbacks back. They got a great football coach, and they're good in all three phases. He's built the program there in year 4, and you can see the consistent growth. Mike inherited a situation much like me. It was a total rebuild. He took a lot of criticism in year 1, but he stayed true to himself because that's who he is. Then in year 2, they were a little bit better. Then in year 3, they were a lot better. And then now in year 4, they got a chance to win a national title. And, I got a lot of respect for how he does things. And, I think it's very similar to the build that we've got going here. We're in year 3, they're in year 4. We're a whole lot better, than we were in year 1. So, but they don't have any weaknesses. They're good everywhere. They're really good. They're skilled kids. Don't get tackled by the first guy. Their O-line's experienced and good. Their quarterback's really good. D-line's the best I've ever coached against. Secondary's good. Linebackers run and hit. They play extremely hard for each other. And so it's an impressive group to watch.
What is it like going to be like guarding Coleman on the wide receiver area?
I got no idea, man. We're gonna play defense the Southern Miss way. He's a really good football player. He's good.
Coach, went back and watched some of the film. You guys were just so close to maybe another 21 points in that game. And I know you've hit on that, but as y'all went through the film, can you kind of maybe touch on some things that, some small things y'all want to clean up going into this week that may have cost y'all?
Yeah, so number one, we hit Brandon Hayes for a touchdown. He's got to, one more inch, right? He's got to bang back inside and catch that ball. Inside, his foot barely landed on the line. So that was one drive. Then we threw a screen and broke it down to the 3. And Caston got an illegal block. He's blocked too high. The target zone's lower. You can't block like that anymore. So that was the penalty on that one. And then we scored on the other one and got a holding call when we bounced it outside, which is a tough call. Not a whole lot you can do about that. It's the inside zone that bounced. The offensive tackle's got inside leverage. That's not a call that normally gets called, but it did. And so then you're first or second and goal from the 20, and there's not a lot of good calls for that. So at that point, we got to try to make a really good play on the next down to get us back in feasibility. But it was 2 penalties, and just not quite restacking enough on the goal line fade, and we're a lot cleaner in the red zone. So it's all the things we can correct.
I feel good about that second group, second O-line, took you down and scored even with a penalty on Billy.
That's right.
Still go down and score anyway.
Yep. They did a good job, man. We got a lot of young O-linemen that are getting better and better, and it's been good to see. We got a lot of depth right there.
Did you and Mike coach together at Memphis?
Yes. Yeah, I was his tight ends coach and assistant head coach at Memphis. We go way back. He played in Central Arkansas while I played in North Alabama. And then Chip Long was my college roommate, and Chip coached for him for a long. Chip was his tight ends coach at Arizona State when Mike was the OC, and it was his first OC at Memphis. So Mike and I have known each other for a long, long time. I have great respect for him.
So have you guys talked at all this week?
No.
So Billy and Frank seem to really have a really good connection there, and they're a really dynamic duo out there. Can you just kind of describe the chemistry between them that you've seen throughout practice in game 1?
I think great respect for how each of them prepare. I think winners like to hang out with other winners, and losers don't like hanging out with winners, because losers hate, they get intimidated by winners and how they work, and they want to make excuses. And man, Frank and Billy just work. They prepare. and they have worked so hard for what they're doing, and so I think they have great respect for each other, and they're high football IQ, so they can communicate in ways that others probably can't to each other.
Speak a little bit about Drake's first game, really complete game for pass pro.
Yep.
Made guys miss, kind of a complete package. It gives you guys something you didn't have last year. Kind of speak to that.
Yeah,
Drake affects Gore too.
Intense competitor, really hard to tackle. Love the guy, team guy all the way. Really good in the kicking game. You know, with him and Keon both, we felt like we had a great dynamic 1-2 punch to kind of spell Frank right there. Now, Keon's been banged up. He got twisted up in that second scrimmage. It just hasn't been the same. He's going to be well at some point early in the season. But we're really high on Drake. Team guy, startful, you know, Mississippi, just a true Southern Miss guy.
Two more for Coach. Davis Dalton looked really
He
good.
He did, man. Davis is going to be a really good player, highly recruited young man out of MRA, great high school program, Herbert Davis. And, redshirted last year, but played in a few games. And then had a hamstring injury in fall camp and came back and looked good, you know, in this game. He's got a bright future for us.
Well, have you ever had to go from, no knock to Alcorn, but have you ever had to go from an FCS team to potentially a top 3 team in the country?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I can't remember. In my first year here, we played Bama. Who did we play the week before? We played Grambling, didn't we? Yeah, so we went Grambling to Bama. There you go.
Do you treat that the same way?
Well,
is
we're
this
a way
different?
better program then than now. I think each team is its own entity in and of itself. It's like having 2 children, you know. You raise them somewhat the same principles, but they're still different. You got to handle them different. This team's so much different than the 21 team in the way we can attack each day, what we can try to accomplish in each day. At that time, we were still laying the slab of our foundation and smoothing it out. Now we're trying to construct a house on that slab. This Florida State team's good. Like, they're really good. You know, they're really good. You know, that Bama team ended up being great, and they smoked us that day. They were building to that, though. They had a true freshman quarterback. They had a lot of newcomers at the time. This Florida State team's old and a veteran, and they're really, really good. So it's a great challenge for us, and one that we're excited to roll it out there and see what we got.